and leave them till they're cold. And then you've got these. By the way, it's a bit cool cooking. Yeah. Cooking is all about how it tastes, how it feels, how it smells. So give this a stir until it's all melted. Keep stirring so it doesn't catch the bottom of. If the mixture comes straight off the bowl, then you've creamed it. If it doesn't, stir it. Just like that. Perfect. First thing we're going to do is make the pastry. 225 grams of plain flour. Then 125 grams of unsalted butter. When you're making pastry, always use unsalted butter. So easy. So you want your mixture to look a little like breadcrumbs, but because it's a high fat content, it may go a little lumpy. Don't worry about that. If it goes lumpy, absolutely fine. And into that mix, we're going to add 125 grams of caster sugar, because it's a sweet shortcrust pastry, and around about 1 egg. So it should come together to form a ball of dough. If it is a little bit sticky, then don't worry, just to add a tiny bit more flour to it. Can go in a freezer bag into the fridge for an hour just to chill off and give it time to rest. Now I'm fortunate enough to have rhubarb growing in my garden. I've just been outside and picked these lovely stalks. It smells amazing. Chop the leaves off and give the stalks a wash. I've chopped the rhubarb up and I've added in some gorgeous light muscovado sugar. If you haven't got light muscovado sugar, you could use light soft brown sugar, or you could use just caster sugar. It's just to sweeten it up. And a teaspoon of ground ginger. Other thing I'm going to add in is the zest of an orange. Rhubarb, orange and ginger just go so well together, and when you're zesting you just want the very, very outside part of the orange. Can you see as I'm doing it where that paler colour is underneath? That's called the pith. That's really bitter and nasty, and you don't want that. You just want the very, very top part of the skin, and that contains the oil of the orange and all the flavour. And I mean, even now it smells amazing. Just give it a really good stir up. Dunk your fingers in the flour just so this doesn't stick to your fingers, and you don't even need a rolling pin, so just press it out into a rough round or an oval. It doesn't matter. The whole idea of this is that they're a free-form tart. Give yourself an edge and pile the rhubarb in the middle. Take the outsides and lift them up so it gives like a wall, a bit like, you know, when you're making a sandcastle and you want to make sure that all the water that you've gathered around the edge doesn't run away back to the sea, and you've got a really cool moat, or a bit like that. Just want the egg white on the edge of the pastry. If you're doing these for dinner party, you can make individual ones and then put everybody's name on. So on a separate piece of paper, we're going to make some little rhubarb biscuits. And these are lovely to serve with coffee. And again, no faffing about. The reason I'm doing it on a separate piece of paper is that these will cook a lot quicker. So you want to take balls of the pastry, round about the size of a walnut shell, and just flatten them with your hands. If you really want them nice and smooth, then just flatten them off with your fingertips. I want them to look like they're homemade. And the centre of each one of these, I'm going to pop in one piece of rhubarb. Wash all around it with the egg white. Sprinkle with demerara sugar. And pop these in the oven for probably about 6 to 10 minutes. If you're in the Arga, then you need to keep a very close eye on them because they will cook very, very quickly.